We're going to call to order the August 13th, 2024 regular board meeting for Competitive Edge Charter Academy. I will note that all board members are present this evening. Thank you for being here, and I'd ask that you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. .04 is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Vote to approve.
I have a motion by board member Bob Miller. Is there a second? Second by board member Coate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. Is there any public comment for CECA? Okay, we'll move on to the advisory committee report. Mr. Mead, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. So this month was our first meeting, and we started off after I gleaned a lot from the Harold Volkemer kickoff this year. And so we really spent a lot of time looking at our mission and vision and just making sure that those are things we created over the last few years, but really wanted to focus in on those and make sure that everything we're doing reflects back to that mission and vision. From there, we went into our PBIS expectation assemblies and kind of the why behind that and how it fit with our mission and vision. Followed that up by just going over our PCAC bylaws, reviewing terms, and we do have some voting that takes place at the beginning of the school year, so we talked about that. Talked about reducing classroom interruptions, and we just went over some specifics for some systems to really cut down on that sacred time in the classroom. And finished up talking about Rick Barlow, who's a consultant from International Baccalaureate that's going to be visiting us this Thursday and Friday, visiting classrooms and working with our staff in collaboration in preparation for that.
Okay, any questions or comments from Rudy? All right, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, we're moving on to our discussion action session. 4.01 is the approval of band equipment for CECA. Do I have a motion for approval? I have a motion by board member Bannister and a second by board member Coate. Any questions, comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. The next one is a resolution for human resources authorizing service pursuant to Ed Code 44256. Do I have a motion for approval? I have a motion by board member Debbie Miller. Is there a second? Second by board member Sharon Bannister. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. The consent calendar. We have 5 items. Do I have a motion for approval of the consent calendar as presented?
Move to approve the consent calendar.
Okay, I got a second. I'm sorry. I got a motion by board member Bob Miller, a second by board member Bannister. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. Is there any additional administrative information?
I just want to thank those of you that were able to come out to our back to school night. Just a big shout out to our staff for not only coming back on Monday, but then turning around and doing 2 back-to-back back to school nights and starting the school year. Just super proud of everybody, and there's a lot of really good work going on. So lucky to be there.
Great. No? Okay. More comments, Bob? Anything?
No, that's
Okay.
Have a wonderful school.
Okay. Ms. Bannister.
Happy New Year.
Okay. All right. As usual, thanks, Joe, for the good work. We appreciate it. We are adjourned. We're going to go. We're going to call to order the August 13, 2024 regular Board of Education meeting for the Yucaipa-Calimesa Joint Unified School District. Welcome to everybody that's here. I will note that all board members are present, and if you wouldn't mind standing and joining us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3.04 is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda this evening?
Not this evening.
No? Okay. With no changes, I'd like to have a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Move to approve the agenda.
I have a motion by Board Member Bob Miller and a second by Board Member Coate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. There is nothing to report out from closed session, so we're going to go right into our recognition, and that's a good thing. We're going to begin with the educational services and our summer graduates.
President Snellings, it is with great pleasure to acknowledge and recognize all of our summer graduates from our high school program during this last summer. I appreciate our students being here and also families, especially because we understand too sometimes when students get their diplomas, they want to start their life right afterwards. So we appreciate you taking the time to come here tonight because we want to make sure to recognize you for all of your hard work. So we could please have the board come up. And we're going to start with Green Valley High School. So if Mr. Tucci, the principal, can come up and join me, please. And students, as I call you up, if you come up here, I will hand you your diploma. You'll shake Mr. Tucci's hand and then make your way around to shake hands with our Board of Education and also our superintendent. Okay? All right, our first Green Valley High School graduate is Jordan Ayala. Also, Jordan, if you could just stand by Mrs. Okay, you were got it. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Our next graduate from Green Valley High School is Dimitri Haji Constantis.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And now we'll have our Yucaipa High School principal, Mr. Gervais, come up, please. And we also have two graduates from Yucaipa High School. Our first graduate is Ureli Martinez Guadaloa. And our second Yucaipa High School graduate who is here tonight is Jenny Milliard. We also had several other Yucaipa High School graduates that were not able to attend tonight, but I just wanted to announce their names also, please. Is Taylor Edwards, Mia Gomez Ruiz, Ethan Gray, Gavin Huggins, and Hayden Smith as well. We also had one additional graduate from Oakview High School who's not here is Braden Smith. Okay, we're going to take pictures. So families, if you want to also come up, we will not rush this so you can have your opportunity also. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do one real quick, then I'll get out of the way, okay? Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Good job, students. Don't forget about it. Oh yeah, Dimitri. Bye. Take care.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome, and definitely tonight is a night of celebrations. One of the joys of being in human resources is taking the opportunity to recognize the hard work, the outstanding work, the dedicated work that our employees do when they're on the job with us and even in the community doing their job there. Many of you know that we recognize our employees at certain milestones. When an employee hits year 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, we recognize them with a pin. That usually happens at their school site. It's definitely a milestone to hit any of those years. But an extra special milestone is year 30. 30 years working for the Ukiah School District, Unified School District is a huge accomplishment. I had the pleasure of joining that club a couple of years back, and tonight we're going to recognize 8 employees who have hit that mark. We have a certificate for them. We have a very luxurious 30-year pin that you get to wear wherever you so wish, but people fight for these pins, so hold on to them. And anyway, this is just a way of me saying we super appreciate your effort, your contributions, and all the things you've done to make a difference for kids in our community. So in alphabetical order, starting us off, could I invite up Mr. Bagg, Michael Bagg from Ukiah High School. Nice and done, Mr. Baggs. Amazing. And for you. All right, another amazing Thunderbird, the amazing science teacher, Catherine Elliott. 3 years. Calamasa Elementary School, an amazing Wildcat, Melody Flores. Chapman Heights, and she's worked at a couple of other places as well. Ali Kishimoto. Come on, man. One of the individuals this evening couldn't make it. She apologizes for not being able to join us. But Kathy Maddox is the campus monitor at Oakview High School. Can we give her a round of applause? All right, this young man has been at Valley Elementary School for quite some time. Pickleball champion extraordinaire, Mr. Miller. Come on down. Good job, Coach. All right, this math, technology, everything kind of teacher at the high school is amazing. I've had a pleasure of working with them. Carl also, come on down, Carl.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
So for the longest time, there were 2 Miss Pleises that count me. So now we're back down to the OG Miss Pleiss. Come on down, Shannon Pleiss.
We like Sheldon too, don't get me wrong.
We'll take as many places as we can get. That's correct.
Yeah, let's take the group picture of this group right here. And folks, if you need to come up and take a shot, please feel free to do so as we do put you on Instagram whether you want to be there
Oh, my goodness. We're good. You gotta get us to go. One, two. I'm out of the way. Sorry.
You're supposed to.
All right, we're gonna have congratulations. Good job. So, yeah, we went this last week. Super impressed. Thank you very much. One of that group, I'm going to invite right back up, kind of as a boomerang. But let me say a little bit first. Many of you know every year we do a recognition to honor our Teachers of the Year. And all of our schools select a Teacher of the Year for their school sites. It's a super special thing. We acknowledge those individuals in the spring. And then among that group, we offer an opportunity for people to apply for the District Teacher of the Year. It's a process, it's rigorous, there's an application that they put together. It's a huge effort, but at the same time, this individual has made a huge, significant, outsized contribution to our community, our students, our staff, and everything. So I'm proud to announce, even though it was announced at the kickoff, we'll make it official here. I'm proud to announce the 2024 District Teacher of the Year, Catherine Elliott. A little sharp, so no workers' comp things.
More pictures.
Thank goodness.
We're ready to count your votes.
No thanks. I'll pass.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3. We're at dance. Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, thank you for joining us in that celebration. That was fun. Okay, now we're moving on to our highlight. That's Ed Services, our program outcomes report from our summer program. Dr. Ayers.
Thank you, President Snellings. Some of our information from our summer programs, I just want to briefly highlight a few pieces and what our students and our staff accomplished this year. So first, in looking at our programs, we had three different pieces of it. We had an elementary program for grades TK5 that was called our Jumpstart program. We also had our middle school program, which was grades 6 through 8, and then we had two high school programs. We had our Yucaipa High School students at Mesa View's campus, and then we also had our Green Valley and Oakview students at Oakview. With the programs, we had them at different locations. So our Jumpstart program was at Chapman Heights Elementary. In looking at our elementary students for both sessions, we totaled around 937 students total for elementary that attended during the summer. And then for our middle school program, that was at Competitive Edge Charter Academy. And with that, we had 192 students attend overall both sessions. And then for our high school programs, we had our Yucaipa High School students over at Mesa View Middle School because we had this little project called air conditioning that was going into the gym that was extremely important for Dr. Freeman and his team. So Mrs. Pearson and her team were gracious enough again to host us at their site. And we had approximately 976 students attend both sessions for Yucaipa High School. And then for Green Valley and Oakview, both sessions, we had 184 students attend. So totaling 2,289 students attending our summer programs. Looking at the different information I just wanted to share was just the different types of courses that our high school students took. So for each session, it's broken up just into the types of courses. Just reminders are our physical science would be more like our earth science and or chemistry courses or physics, and then life science would be biology. Usually for physical science during the summer, though, those are chemistry that's offered. With looking at it for session 1 for Yucaipa High School, we had approximately 2,000 credits that were completed with that. And then looking at about 500 courses that were taken overall for the first session and about 430 courses that were taken during the second session. For Yucaipa High, we looked at a lot of students making up our math class and also getting ahead with taking physical education courses. With Green Valley and Oakview, we had the majority of our students making up social studies courses, looking at modern world history, and then also economics. And then some took mathematics and then also our English courses. With Green Valley and Oakview, we had a little over 200 credits completed during the first session and close to 330 credits the second session. Overall, looking at data, I know it's not the same students that took courses necessarily, but we just like to look at students and growth overall. So looking at STAR test scores, I just wanted to include last year's students who took STAR tests during the summer for reading and then also for math. So in looking at it or where our students are at, there's a little bit of growth of where they're coming in at and then where they're ending at. That's for our reading and then also with math. Math STAR actually was a little bit higher than our overall math CASP scores for 2023 as well. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board? I have one question, Jamie. When students are in the high school classes, are they taking these classes for remediation or advancement or both?
Both.
Okay.
For Yucaipa High School. For our Alt-Ed, the majority are for credit recovery.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that's it. Now we're going into our public comment section. And I'd first like to welcome Christine Doherty. Come on up, Christine. Hello.
Good evening, Cabinet and board members. I just wanted to take the opportunity to let you know that I will be your YCEA president for the upcoming year. I look forward to working with you guys collaborative. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping we can do that together. Have a great night.
Okay, welcome aboard. Our next public comment is Sam Wong. Dr. Wong, welcome.
Good evening. So there's always a divisiveness in politics and stuff like that. So you may be right, but I'm always wrong.
Well, two wrongs don't make a right.
You are absolutely right. Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. As we open up the 24-25 academic year, I wish to remind the board and administrative staff and Stella, it's great to meet you today. I really do. And teachers of the school district of the pervasive and evolving language and behavior that has permeated our school system. As parents, we have the ultimate responsibility for the well-being of our children. Our children do not belong to the school or to the village or the state or the government. They belong to the parents. In a sane and sober society, we are accountable to the decisions and actions of our children. Therefore, ultimately, what and how our children learn, decide, and act while at school must remain within our jurisdiction. By informed and collaborative proxy, we expect the board to remain accountable to the parents, not to any other financial or political-based stakeholders that undermine the parent-child relationship. I have witnessed, as a physician, oh, by the way, I have to put a disclosure. I'm not representing Optum, Beaver Medical Clinic, or other entities. I'm not representative of the Grace Point Church, Modelo Fellowship, church that I go to. Okay, so I just want to put that disclosure out. I have witnessed the gradual erosion of the physician-patient relationship. For example, many of you may have experienced locally such erosion with Optum, a subsidiary of the massive United Healthcare that gobbled up Beaver locally, resulting in an exodus of a lot of my colleagues, many good physicians who I actually personally taught. Physician-patient relationships were severed to the detriment of patient and physician. Same goes with a parent-child relationship. That relationship should never be severed. Doing so would invariably result in lifelong devastating outcomes. Many children of divorced parents know that very, very well. AB 1955 was recently signed into law by Governor Newsom and is yet another wedge that shatters the patient-child relationship. If you wish to be empowered and be further equipped in how to be involved in keeping the parent-child relationship and that bond secured, contact the Civil Review Board at Grace Point Fellowship here in Chicago, which is just a few blocks away. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Wong. Next is Katrina Wilcox. Welcome.
Good evening, Superintendent Binks and other cabinet members and President Snellings and other board members. As you know, most of you know, I'm Katrina with Civil Review Board. I wanted to address parental rights. This is a fundamental right of all parents to have a say in the education, health, and upbringing of their children and not the state. School officials do not have the right to keep secrets from parents, but parents do have a constitutional right to know what their minor children are doing at school. We brought this matter before you some months ago, and you brought in your attorney who advised you not to pursue these basic rights on the behalf of parents because you would be sued. We now have a governor and state assembly who have gone way beyond their civic appointed duties and now think they know best what we all need in our personal lives. Introduce AB 1955, which infringes on parental rights and is illegal according to the Constitution of the United States of America. This is why the Liberty Justice Center has sued the state of California for this illegal bill. We know that a few of you support parental rights, like Mr. Miller, who ran his campaign on parental rights. Also, he and Ms. Bo Coate expressed their support of parental rights at one of our town hall meetings. In light of this, we are asking on behalf of parents for you to have the courage to stand up and put parental rights on the agenda. I've also asked, I've turned into Stella a public request to be on the agenda. Would you all like a copy of that, or do I need to get that? I've already given it to Stella.
You can give it to Stella, we'll get it. Thank
Great,
you,
I already
Ms.
did
Wilcox.
that.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Isabel Arias. Welcome.
Good afternoon, board members, superintendent, and public. My full name is Maria Isabel Arias. I am a parent and local advocate for parental rights, students' rights in general. I'm a true believer that we need to work together. It's not the district or the school against the parents. We need to work collaboratively. We need to work for the benefit of our children. The children do not belong to the state, do not belong to an agency, do not belong to anyone. We share our students. During school years, they are part of your entity. You are responsible for their education, but us parents need to be involved. What happened with working us together? There's too many things, too much noise going on, like AB 1855, that is trying to take parental rights away from the parents. I think that's outrageous, and it's very scary. It is very scary because you keep hearing all these stories from parents not being told the entire things that are happening to their kids in school. So I believe we can work together. Let's come and talk to each other. Let's work for the benefit of our children. You became a professional in education because you love our children, because it is your interest to ensure that our children get educated. We bring and send our kids to your agency because we want the same. We want you to educate our kids, but keep us involved. Keep us in the loop. Don't hide anything from us. And certainly do not try to infringe ideations or ideas that are not good for our kids. So I'm here again to advocate for our kids. I also want to bring to your attention a couple items that are in your agenda, and they're very general. I wish to see more information when it comes to your purchase orders. You have a general block and you just have purchase orders and approval for them. I would like to see PO numbers and maybe very general information so you and the public, the parents, know what you're approving. Because in reality, we don't know what's happening. And last but not least, I understand you're reviewing one of your employees, in this case, your superintendent. I would like to ask to ensure your superintendent's actions are transparent and that everything she does, and when she speaks on your behalf, that the public and teachers and parents understand what's going on. So I would like to request that as well. And I will give you more details when it comes to 10.1 item in this agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arias. Okay, we're moving on to through the agenda. 7.01, there is not a Colton Redlands Yucaipa report, occupation program report tonight, so we're gonna go by that. We're going on to our discussion action session 8.01. This is a 2024-25 agreement for services with Life by Design. Do I have a motion for approval of 8.01?
Move approval.
I have a motion by board member Bannister. I'll second the item. Are there any questions related to this? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.02 is a student enrollment forecasting and student yield factor analysis agreement with Davis Demographics. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by board member Coate and a second by board member Bob Miller. Questions or comments related to this? Mr. Miller.
I think it goes to Dr. Freeman. I asked that you get some information from the ESR on this, and Dr. Freeman, Why is this information important to us on the board, on the forecasting side?
That's a great question, Mr. Miller. So over the past several years, we've done our own enrollment forecasting. We've been in a declining enrollment environment, and so it has not been too complicated. But recently, both in the city of Yucaipa and the city of Calamasa, there's been some building. And so one of the things this company will do using ESRI software is give us a yield analysis. So how many students are we getting out of each new apartment or each new townhome? What's their age by school, by that location? So as school districts see building going on in their community, this will give us a better forecast for planning for staffing, for new schools, new classrooms, and it'll save us money in the long run to have accurate forecasting as we have to see building in our community that we haven't seen in the past.
Thank you.
Okay, and I can say I've worked closely with David's demographics myself, and the things that they do are really beyond, I think, the purview of a district. They're really good at what they do. They helped us with redrawing the boundaries in Colton, actually. So thank you for the question, Bob. Okay, any more questions or comments? Okay, did I ask for a motion already? I did, right? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.03 is a modernization project at Yucaipa Adult School. I have a motion for approval.
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions related to the modernization project? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.04 is a request for qualifications for Dunlap Elementary School and Yucaipa High School. Do I have a motion for approval? I have a motion by Board Member Coate. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments?
Dr. Freeman again. Yeah, so what this RFQ is going to provide what?
So it provides three things. So we have cooling water at both Yucaipa High School and Dunlap Elementary School. So this will provide some additional curbing to stop the cooling water, make it safe for staff and students. And then the other one is at the last board meeting, the board approved the lettering in front of the Yucaipa High School gym. And so this will provide the foundation for those letters.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.05 is to upgrade door locks at Yucaipa High School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Board Member Bob Miller. I'll second the item. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.04 is the purchase of tables for Calamasa Elementary School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval. Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coate. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 8.08, this is a piggyback on legal bids and contracts for child nutrition services. Do I have a motion for approval? Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, my thumb got ahead of my mouth. Business 8.07 is business services phone call management system upgrade. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments related to this?
Dr. Freeman, one more time. This is confirming this is the first time we charged for the upgrade. They hadn't previously for Cisco systems.
That's correct, Mr. Miller. So these phones are mini computers. And so when they provided the phone systems, that software came with the system. And so this is a one-time purchase to upgrade and be able to continue using these phones and these mini computers. So this is a one-time fee.
And again, just for clarification, I know the public will probably ask, because I asked, no relation to the outage we had with Frontier.
That's correct. So Frontier is our phone and internet provider. And so these are the actual phones, computers themselves. And so no relation.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. Now we're on to 8.08, piggyback for legal bids and contracts for child nutrition services. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Questions or comments related to this item? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.09 is educational services. This is approval of Yucaipa Adult School course titles. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval. Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coate. Any questions or comments related to the course titles? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.10 is to review and approve the single plans for student achievement for 2 of our elementary schools. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Board Member Bob Miller. I'll second the item. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.11 is an agreement with Solient Health Client Services. Do I have a motion for approval? A motion by Board Member Coate. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments?
Just confirming, Mrs. Banks, this is a must, not a want, and due to circumstances this is a must.
Yes, we're trying to fill speech and language pathologist positions, but the kids need services, so we would use them in lieu of having employees hired.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.12 is an agreement with Ari Jones to provide Chromebooks for Yucaipa Adult School.
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Debbie Miller. Any questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.14 is a human resources item.
1-3.
I gotta slow my thumb down. Sorry. 8.13 is an approval of the CDWG New Line True Touch 4CUHD interactive displays for Yucaipa Adult School. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Board Member Debbie Miller seconds. Any questions or comments related to this?
I've got a question. We're doing a lot with the adult school. How many people are we servicing at the adult school? I think it's been growing.
I think that the last count we had, I know we have over 300, and I want to say it's getting closer to almost 400.
Wow.
Yeah, I can get you an exact number, but Dana's growing immensely, and the great thing is they're coming from all over. Moreno Valley, Palm Springs,
That's excellent.
all over.
That really is excellent. It's turned into a wonderful program.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.14 is the resolution related to teaching credentials through human resources. Do I have a motion for approval? I have a motion by Board Member Coate. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Bannister. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in approval say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. We have another resolution authorizing service pursuant to Ed Code 44263. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister. I'll second the item. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. 8.16 is another resolution for human resources related to the education code requirements. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Coate. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. Are there any items on the consent calendar that a board member would like to have considered separately? Okay.
9.06 and
9.06. 9.10. Okay, any others? All right. So do I have a motion for approval of the consent calendar with the exception of 9.06 and 9.10?
Move to approve the consent calendar minus 9.06 and 9.10. That's
Okay.
full for consideration.
Okay, do I have a second?
second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it passes unanimously. 9.06 is the approval of purchase orders, pay vouchers, and commercial warrants. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Bannister and a second by Board Member Debbie Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Any abstentions or noes?
Yes.
And one abstention, so it passes 4-1 with an abstention, excuse me. And then 9.10, this is a notice of completion related to exterior fence painting on the California Street campus. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Board Member Bob Miller. I'll second the item. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, and I'm assuming you're going to abstain on this one, Board Member Coe. Okay, so we have 4 yeses and 1 abstention. Okay, very good. Now we're moving on to 10.01. This is a request for discussion from the public, San Bernardino County District Advocate for Better Schools. And I'd like to call up Maria Isabel Arias again to speak regarding this. Hello again.
I have some documents for the members. Good evening again. My name is Maria Isabel Arias, and I am a local parent and local advocate for parents' rights and students' rights. For several years, I've been attending school board meetings and the San Bernardino County of Education board meetings as well to learn how districts work with the county. And it came to my attention that there's an organization, I call it SANDAPS, and it's the Better School, the one you just mentioned. And for several years, I attended the meetings and I was not allowed to provide public comment, which I found it odd because if all the members are either superintendents for local schools or board members. So these are, some of them, or most of them are elected officials. So I found it odd that they did not allow, they discussed education, they supported bills, or they went against bills, yet they did not allow the public to participate. For years, this happened since its initiation. And I started questioning and I started asking for them to allow me to participate, and I kept getting denials from their legal counsel. In 2017 or 2018, I got tired of it and I consulted with the county, I'm sorry.
District Attorney?
The district attorney, thank you. And he actually took a long time, several months, but finally we got a letter stating that SANDAPS is actually covered by the Brown Act. So they gave them a letter stating that they must comply and they must allow public participation and public comment. One of my concerns came across when I learned who the members of SANDAPS were, and it happened to be one of your members here, Ms. Kelly Binks. And so I did a Public Record Act request to learn when was Ms. Binks elected to participate in SANDAPS, how she came about to be the chair of SANDAPS, and how and why is she participating in this organization that happened to be violating the Brown Act for so many years. When I received a response to my request for public records, it came to my attention that there was no board meeting approval, and it's not specific, the response is not specific how Ms. Binks became part of SANDAPS. I'm very concerned because, again, all the members that participate in SANDAPS represent the districts that they belong to. And it's my understanding that all districts have policies where you send someone to represent your district, you must have board approval. And it also came to my attention that Yucata Calamesa funds SANDAPS. You pay a membership. which is taxpayers' money. So I'm even more alarmed because you're funding an agency that was violating the parents' rights, the public's rights, and yet there is no record that you met with the public, that you told them that you want to participate in stand-ups, and that you want to pay a fee. So that's one of the reasons why I asked for this agenda to be added into this meeting today, because I want to learn more. How is this about? And again, stand-ups has just been forced to open their meetings to the public, but they don't always have the students interested at heart. I have come to learn that they have opposed some of very important bills that protect parental rights and protect our students' rights. And in some cases, they go and they lobby for bills that go against parental rights. So I'm very concerned about that, because you are all elected officials. You all use taxpayer funds. We want transparency, we want accountability, and we want to be informed. The public has a right to be informed how you come up with your decisions. I mean, that's the whole system, why we're here. That's why you have it all written down on your agenda. So I'm also here to ask for this district not to support, not to continue the membership, or to be part of stand-ups. Because once again, it's not to the best interest of our students and parents. So I am here to answer your questions. What I gave you today is actually a copy of the letter from Attorney General Rob Bonta that actually states that stand-ups must comply with the Brown Act. I also gave you a copy of the records request or the response, and I provided some of this information around May or June electronically as well, with all the information. And last but not least, I provided you a list of all of the executive members of stand-ups, and fourth from the list is Miss Kelly Binks' name there. So once again, we, the public, the taxpayers, want accountability, transparency, and we want to know how our elected officials and public figures participate in agencies like the stand-ups.
Thank you, Ms. Arias. Ms. Wilcox, I believe you wanted to speak related to this too.
Good evening.
Hello again.
Hi. I just wanted to show our full support for Ms. Arias' deep concerns regarding stand-ups. It's a new program I've never heard anything about until today. And we just hope the school district will be more transparent and accountable by providing more information on this highly secretive program as the new year starts. The YCJUSD CRB will be following up with this concern, as well as the tutoring app, drugs in the restroom at YCJUSD High, and parental rights, to name a few. We look forward to working with all of you throughout the year, and we just thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Wilcox. Now we're moving on to 10.02. This is our California School Dashboard Report, and I believe that Mr. Kirkland will be doing this. Did he show up? Oh, yeah, he's here. There he is. Hey, Shaq.
President Snelling's taking that, by the way, members of the board, Superintendent Binks, and all the rest of the process. So last month, I had the pleasure of introducing to you our local measures that are contributing factor in this data in consideration for the LCAP that Dr. Anderson is writing seemingly every single day. So we presented data last time. There was one piece of data, however, that was not available to us simply because the California dashboard had not released it yet. So we're here to kind of bridge that gap, give that information, answer any questions you may have, and then that will kind of continue the local measure presentation. So that's all it is. So next, if you don't mind. So this was the local measures and the priorities that we kind of introduced last time. Specifically, what we're going to talk about in a couple minutes is priority 1, which has to do with making sure that our teachers in our classroom have the appropriate credentials to work with the children in front of them. So that's about it. So this is specifically a charge that districts have, HR specifically, about making sure that the people that are in the class have an appropriate assignment and credentials for the content areas, whether it is K-5 or secondary and subject area specific. It requires us to go through and make sure that we have the right people in the right places, and we don't have a plan to correct them. And then that's our last slide, which is actually kind of the bread and butter of it all. This is done on CBEDS Day. CBEDS Day is a snapshot in time. It's the first Tuesday in October. It's a big day. Take all our data and how to calculate our demographics, our ADA, and in this particular case, our teaching assignments. On that particular day last year, actually it wasn't last year, it was 2 years ago that this data was snapshotted from. These are our issues that we had. We had 12 misassignments, 18 vacancies, and we had 1 charter misassignment. We are also responsible for the charters that are under our charge, in our case, that would be ILCS. So this gets complicated in the fact that if we would have a vacancy and it's K through 5, that could be charged as a misassignment. At the secondary level, it's actually done by section. So 1 assignment could be 5 miscalculations. So those numbers kind of add up kind of quick. Overall, it's pretty low when you talk about the issues that we have as far as staff members coming and going at different times of the year, and HR's ability to go ahead and fix those assignments. So at that particular time, that first Tuesday in October, when CBEDS was taken, this would be our calculations. So the numbers are actually pretty low. We also have an issue sometimes to where if we get a student that has a certain requirement in their educational needs, whether it be EL or special ed, and we don't have the immediate accommodation for them right then and there, that could also trigger something. So EL student who might be special needs, and we don't have both of those credentials met at that specific time, could trigger a misassignment until we get the right person in the right place to accommodate those needs. So overall, numbers are very low. It is part of our local measures. And yeah, we have that.
Any questions from the board related to this? No, hearing it. Okay, thank you, Mr. Kirkland. Appreciate it. Now we're caught up, right, on that. All right. All right. Any additional administrative information this evening? Ms. Binks? Oh, those are just information items. So we have a couple of board policies. Any questions about those from the board? Okay, we're not doing any action on those. No. Okay. Now let's go into additional administrative information. Ms. Binks?
Thank you, President Snellings. It's been a great start to the school year. We've had, our classes are full. We're staffed very tightly. We've had a lot of requests for, I want to move to this school and that school, and we're accommodating our community the best that we can. But it's nice to have our schools full. And as Mrs. Bannister and I had the opportunity, along with Dr. Freeman, to walk Calamasa Elementary and Chapman Heights Elementary, while Dr. Anderson and Mr. Stoles were at Ridgeview and Dunlap. And so it was nice to be there. And then all the back to school nights, which were done a little bit differently this year because many of our teachers and our principals enjoy having it the day before school starts, which gives kids a chance to acclimate to their classrooms and spend more time with their teachers and getting to know the schools. And so that's been really successful. They do scavenger hunts. They're doing parties on the lawn and all kinds of fun activities so that when our kids come to school, they feel comfortable. So that's been really a successful model. Now it makes it difficult for the board to attend every single one of them because you can't even get through town fast enough because they're all occurring at the same time. But it's been a really beneficial thing for students, for parents, and for our teachers as well. So those are, we still have a few more to go. Of course, UCAPA High School's always last, but we have a few more to go in middle schools and Wildwood this week, but they've been going extremely well. We're working with our parents that are waiting on the transfer list, and then we also we have some transfers that are coming in from other districts, and so we're working hard to support them and meet the needs of each of our students. But I wanted to share with the board that things have been very successful, and thank you to our staff and our principals and our teachers.
All right, Summer's over.
Summer's over.
Mr. Stoles, anything? Dr. Anderson, Eric, anything? Okay, thank you. All right, let's go on to board member comments. Board member Bob Miller.
Thank you, President Snellings. Thank you. Welcome everybody back. I just had a few notes from back to school nights. Was able to attend with Dr. Anderson to Chapman Heights back to school night. Enjoyed. Want to point out some teachers that I was extremely impressed with. Amy Brown, second grade, very impressive. Great example of connecting with former student who came in to see her, had her previous student, and the connection there was so obvious. One parent pulled me aside and made a point to mention that he has 3 children. He used to go to a charter school, but he felt that our school district and that school specifically was so great that his kids are going to go to school there. Amanda Parisi, first grade, organized classroom, made parents feel welcome, very comfortable, especially in first grade. The parents had a lot of questions and she just handled it so beautifully. Chelsea Scherer, kindergarten, great communication with parents. They had many questions. What I noted, her kindness was on display with the parents and the kids. It was obvious. Ms. Velardes, she had a map for success for her students. Who was explaining to the parents, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. We learn by them. A very welcoming environment. Also, I mentioned that attendance matters, and I felt that was a good way to start the year. Also got to go to Green Valley High School with Dr. Anderson. Well attended by the parents. Good presentation by Mr. Tucci and staff. All the questions were answered professionally and respectfully. We even had a former student who now has her kid there going and was speaking great things about the school. Attended National Night Out with many of our staff and our schools, had great setups and booths, and it was a great night there. Obviously, it's law enforcement focused, Sarah, right? And but it was great to see our schools there, well-formed, information booths. I was impressed with the HR department was marketing and making snow cones for families by recruiting. I thought that was a novel idea. So thanks to Mr. Stoltz and his staff for being out there. He was quite busy. And then also last night, Superintendent Binks, maybe future council member, was recognized at the council meeting for the, we had a great active shooter drill with the Sheriff's Department, a regional active shooter drill at the high school, and was recognized last night for our collaboration with the city. And we are taking safety seriously. We've made some great inroads in safety and working with our law enforcement partners, and it was more evidence last night by the comments at the city council. And we appreciated that from the mayor himself. So thank you for making that collaboration happy and having a wonderful drill this summer involving our students from our long public safety class, and that regional participation was key to safety on our campus. So thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, President.
Thank you. All right. Board member Debbie.
A few things. First of all, I know they're not here, but I'm very proud of the graduates. It doesn't matter when, but that they did it. So I'm proud of them. To all the 30-year employees, there's a few still here. Thank you for all you've done and that you've stuck around the district, and we're so proud to still have you here. And then to Catherine Elliott, I know she's still there. Well-deserved. Several of my kids, well, one of my kids was in your class, one was in your tutoring after school for chemistry. That's a tough class, and one of them has struggled, and she understood that and helped him get through it. It was a miracle. And my other one, she struggled too, which normally she didn't, and she went to the after school tutoring. And I appreciate that you understood that not every kid gets it and that you're there to help. So I really appreciate you. Also, I just wanted to just say what an exciting time of year this is. I, as a parent, always remembered I enjoyed it the first week of school as much as my kids did, because you got to see what class they were in, what they were going to be doing, if their friends were in their class. I felt like one of my kids, you know, who's in your class and do you have their lunch and everything. So it's fun. It's a good time. It's new. You have new students, new classmates. It's time to reset and begin another great year at Yucaipa School District. So,
thank you, Debbie.
that's it.
Ms. Bannister.
Okay, well, I would echo the congratulations to the graduates. Again, that is a great accomplishment. It's always more difficult if you don't do it the traditional way. So it shows some real stick-to-itiveness and perseverance, which I admire. Also, some stick-to-itiveness and perseverance among the teachers that have lasted for 30 years.
Yes.
Congratulations on that. And Catherine, you know, well-deserved honor to you. Thank you. I also like to welcome Christine Doherty for YCA. Look forward to working with you and meeting the challenges that we're going to be dealing with here. I also wanted to point out, so if you haven't been in the Yucaipa High School gym over the years, I've worked in this business for my 34 years and I've been around doing this, but walking in there and having air conditioning was amazing. And it was beautiful. Just our campuses, and as Mrs. Binks mentioned, I went to Calamasa and Chapman. Our school district is looking good. So shout out to the employees that make that happen. It's just lovely. It's really wonderful.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yes, Adam and his crew have done an excellent job. Thanks for that. Welcome to Christine. Congratulations to all of our 8 teachers at 3rd year. That's insane. It kind of speaks to who we are, doesn't it? Congratulations to Captain Elliott. And I too want to reiterate the perseverance, the stick-with-itness to our graduates. So great job. Have a good year. Oh, the one thing I think is so fun about the beginning of the school year is, as a teacher, let's say you're like a duck, right? So your duck is cool, it's sitting on the pond, but underneath them, those legs are kicking. You're like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. It is pleasantly chaotic, and I think it's my favorite time of year to work hard for the families and the kids and our fellow teachers and everyone. So I'm looking forward to an exciting year.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for a great start off to the school year as well. And thank you for coming this evening. So tonight we're going to have a memorial adjustment, a memorial adjournment. And if you wouldn't mind indulging me while I read this. The Yucaipa Calamasa Joint Unified School District Board of Education this day will adjourn in memory of Donna Lorson and Sarah Jane Wallace. Donna served as a personnel technician in human resources from October 16th, 1978 until her retirement on July 1st, 2000. Donna passed away on July 14th, 2024. Sarah Jane served as an assistant principal at Yucaipa High School from September 2nd, 1981 to June 30th of 1993, and principal at Valley Elementary School from July 1st, 1993 to June 30th of 2001. Sarah Jane passed away on July 7th, 2024. So we're going to adjourn the meeting in their memory. And again, thank you for coming. We are adjourned.